And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Gerald Glassford, how the heck are you doing? Happy International Podcast Day. I mean, they got a day for everything, I guess. It's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for joining me right here on the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where I cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week. That's right. 1-2 shows for you each and every week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest Pop Culture Cosmos, Josh Peterson and I talk about one battle after another, the Tokyo Game Show. We also delve into the dark side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like kind of attached to it in the movies I'd rather forget in Daredevil and Elektra. And then also as well, more Xbox price hikes. Yuck. That was distasteful back to back. But of course, you want to go ahead and hear us talk about it. We go ahead and do for a full hour right there for you on the Pop Culture Cosmos, wherever you get your podcasts and on radio stations worldwide. Also as well, looking forward to seeing what the guys from the Lakerholics crew are saying about Lakers training camp, which is now underway. Go ahead and check out what they're doing today at Lakerholics.com. My good friend, Mr. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, go ahead and check out what he's doing right there for you. And of course, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe today to his channel, my channel, and wherever you go ahead and find good Lakers YouTube channels, including Empire Jeff and the Joe Soro Experiment as well. Wanted to go ahead and give some big love as well to Alfred Esmond on Twitter, at report_court, Mr. Stone Hansen. He is alive and well. He's retweeting out some of the projects that he's a part of that are covering the draft next year. Then also my good friend Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. All these guys need some love. Go ahead and make sure you follow, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And make sure you do the same for us. We truly need your help and support. We are tired of being like right there in podcast, YouTube, Laker mediocrity land. We want to get into the higher realm. We want to be considered one of the championship contenders. We have the best and entertaining shows in the Laker Forum. There is no one that's better. Absolutely no one. If you want bland, if you want boring, if you want okay, there's that other stuff. Those are other stuff out there. Yeah. But if you want stuff that actually is going to entertain you and inform you, well, there's no better place to do it right here. The Lakers Fast Break Podcast. And last but certainly not least, please become a member today for just $2.99 a month. I'm not hiking the prices like Xbox. It's just a $2.99 a month. And you'll get a sneak peek 24 hours ahead of time. In some cases, even more sometimes if I don't put the other videos up, of my NBA team previews. Today, you guys got to go ahead and got a chance to go ahead and check out my latest interview that I put up there for the Miami Heat team coverage by Zachary Weinberger of Clutch Points. So go ahead and check out what he has to say, because I'm not posting that to everyone else until tomorrow. But you members can get to it right now, right there for you at the Lakers Fast Break. But if you are catching up on what we're doing a little bit later on, you're not a member, you're still getting some good stuff sent out to you, because from the Atlanta Hawks through the LA Clippers to the Memphis Grizzlies, which debuted to everyone out there earlier today, we have got your NBA teams covered, and we've got all 29 other teams covered. And Mark, aka Xbox, asked me to do a Lakers one. I told him that's what we've been doing all summer long, man, is a Lakers season preview. But I'll get a reporter, somebody who writes about the Lakers. I'll do that for you as well, my friend, because we love you, and we love all of you right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us again. Congrats to the Dodgers winning game 1. Congrats to the Las Vegas Aces heading to the WNBA Finals on Friday. That was a thrilling game. They almost choked it pretty close on that one, as far as almost losing that to the very feisty Indiana Fever. Credit to them, because they put up a fight without all their best players. Their best player on the court one of their best players got injured in the second half, and then one of their center She fouled out, so it wasn't looking good for them. But you know what? They came close. They fought. They tried, but the Las Vegas Aces move on to the WNBA Finals against the Phoenix team. That's going to be right there for you guys if you want to check it out. The WNBA Finals starting on Friday. But Dodgers go up 1-0 as well. Congrats to them. But yes, did want to go ahead and talk about day one of Lakers training camp today. Yes, I'm telling you, Gregory, I was going to say it to the guys, but they don't want to hear me it's like a dead horse, beating a dead horse each and every time, Greg. I tell these guys on WhatsApp, Dodgers bullpen sucks. They even mentioned it, 20th in Major League Baseball is what they finished up in bullpen ERA. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. At times, it's like going ahead to Little League and hitting off a T-ball when it concerns the Dodgers bullpen this year. I have no idea how Dave Roberts is going to navigate his way to a World Series title. I'm hoping he can. Seriously hoping he can. Hopefully those starters will just punish the other team, and the Dodgers can hit home runs and get like today. Henry said it best. The Dodgers need like a 10-run lead to feel safe. And at that time, they almost had a 10-run lead. They got an 8-run lead. And you know what? That's what they needed with this bullpen. It's just going to provide you guys out there with some nervous moments. But I'm wishing the best for all Dodgers fans out there and hoping that they can pull it off indeed. I would love to see them win a back-to-back title and just to see Joe happy. Just to see Joe, Empire Jeff, the hard work that they put in covering the Dodgers. I would love to see their hard work paid off with a world championship again for Dodger Blue, indeed. No, Gregory, they can't throw. That was just awful. I just ball after ball after. They were just like missing everywhere and just walking people. It was ugly. And again, this bullpen, you're going to live in the Dodgers are going to live or die off their bullpen in this postseason. It's just as simple as that. I mean, the Yankees did, and they lost and last season. So we're going to see what happens with the Dodgers this team. Yeah, Gregory, you just got to score 10 runs every time out to win to make sure that you're going to stay ahead. But Tufso says relief pitching is so important to postseason. I don't know how they're going to. I don't know how either, Tuff. I really don't. I wish they had addressed it. I said it all season long from the get-go. Joe didn't want to hear what I had to say. Didn't want to, oh, it's just Gerald saying, I told you so. Well, you know what? I don't want to tell you I told you so. I want the Dodgers to win. So I'm hoping that they will win despite whatever really pitching have. And I hope they get through it. I really do. I hope they put enough Band-Aids on it so that they can get through it. But I don't want to be right. I really don't want to be right. And I don't want to say I told you guys so. I really don't, because I want the Dodgers to win. And I'm hoping they will. And I'll leave it at that. Padres lost, though. Yes, JSJ. Padres lost, though. But again, Dodgers, there you go. 1-0. Getting started. You know what, JSJ? Again, I've been watching the game casually for years, since around the same time. I told you I was actually, the Lakers and Dodgers were just like 1-2 right there with me. I told you my affinity for the Dodgers infield. Steve Garvey was really my favorite baseball player growing up. I still have no idea. Okay, with who they put in the Hall of Fame, you cannot give me a rational reason why they haven't put Steve Garvey in the Hall of Fame. I don't get it. You can't get it to me now. I mean, they were talking about today because Al Horford signed a contract. He signed over the weekend with the Golden State Warriors, and they're talking about Zach Lowe was about how he's a surefire Hall of Famer. I'm just like, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Okay, all right. That's where we're at with the Hall of Fames. I mean, Stephanie McMahon, Al Horford into their Hall of Fames. There you go. I'll just leave it at that. Didn't say they deserve it. Didn't say they didn't, but it's just that's where we're at with Hall of Fames these days. Gregory says Dodgers bullpen so bad. Got starters coming out bullpen now. That's a train. Yeah, it's a chain effect when you have to bring in some starters that have to give you that have to eat some innings in the bullpen. It's just a chain effect on that, and it hurts you down the line during these middle series. So World Series, you could get away with it because you kind of truncate your starting pitching staff anyways. But yeah, we'll see what happens. If the Dodgers get out of the wild card and where they go from there. I mean, seriously, best league. I don't know why. I mean, 5 all-star appearances. I mean, he was part of the back-to-back for Florida as far as the championships there. I guess maybe you could base it off of that. I think it's one all NBA team. That constitutes, I guess, the Hall of Famer in the NBA these years. So that's fine. Again, it would be congratulations to him if that's the case. But yeah, you see where I'm at, guys. I see the point. I mean, Garvey, NL MVP, wasn't he 2-time World Series champion? He held the consecutive games record in the NL for years. Yeah, it's bitter, a little bit, but we'll leave it at that. But the Lakers did have their day one training camp, and I thought I'd get you guys up to speed. I tried to get Mark on. I tried to get some of the guys on. Joe is busy artificial turfing with SimBlades with a Y.com. He says he's really busy, and I know when he tells me and he texts me he's really busy, I believe him. I believe him, and I'm happy for him because that means business is good with SimBlades, and I really am happy for him if that's the case. Joe, yeah, I don't know when Joe's coming on. He's going to come on when he can, Gregory, but to be honest with you, he's going to be in and out because of the fact he is just so busy artificial turfing. And you know what? He has to focus on his business. And if that's the case, man, all props to him. And we'll just go from there. But, when he can, I sent out the invite. So if he can drop on, he's more than welcome to come right here on the Lakers Fast Break. But yeah, I don't know when he's coming on or when he's not because he tells me I don't know when I ask him and I let him know I'm doing a show. But hopefully he'll join us. Maybe even if all works out well tomorrow, we even do a Lakers Fast Break radio, but I don't know about that yet 100%. So we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow as well. But we'll see what happens. So I'm trying to give you guys some good content over the course of the week. Remember, I've got the NBA T previews as well. But day one of training camp actually brought a little bit more surprises, in my opinion. Brought some more surprises. I'll touch on that obsession thing here in a second. It's a little bit more surprises than it was in Media Day. What's up, Drip Show? Again, if you see right above me, right there, proof of the quality of what Drip Show can do for you. Please go ahead and make sure you go ahead and reach out and follow Drip Show at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and the Twitter right there for you. That way you could go ahead and take a look at what he's doing, Lakers, Dodgers later. But if you've got a special design in mind for a shirt, a hat, canvas art, or something else for your holiday gift needs, hello, holiday gifts right there, something like that. You could go ahead and hit up Drip Show Shop again on Instagram and Twitter. There you go. Thema says Garvey was my favorite Dodger. Got soft spot for Gibson or Hershiser. Yeah, great. Yeah, they were. Gibson was clutch. She is gone. Vin Scully's great all-time call. Absolutely. Hershiser, Orel, he just, he knew how to pitch. But yeah, Garvey, why is he not in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. But getting back to day one of training camp, kind of had more surprises than Media Day. So they rolled out training camp. The guys worked out. Luka was good. Luka was fine, according to JJ. I did see him. There's pictures of him out there on the internet during the course of training camp. So that I was at relief to see that everything looked good with Luka. So I'm really happy about that. So seeing him out there just really was kind of a relief that he could come on there. In fact, there you go, right there from the official Lakers Facebook page, right there, taking a look at it right now. He was there commanding as far as doing what he needed to do. That's a good start for the team, good start for the organization in this Luka era as we go ahead and get the first full year with Luka in training camp. Everything looking good there. Yes, there was a Rob Pleinka thing that I kind of want to talk about. I know Gregory wanted to talk about as well, and I actually made it as the JPEG. But I did want to go ahead and mention that Jared Vanderbilt was a full participant in training camp, and you can see actually he's looks like right there with his action photo that he is looking a little bit more athletic, a little bit more spry. He said that in media day. The foot surgeries are behind him, a full year behind him. So maybe that will mean good things for him this upcoming season. But there were some non-participants of note that I wanted to go ahead and get you guys caught up on. We knew about Adil Thiero. He had some left knee swelling. As I mentioned yesterday, I would probably say another week before he gets cleared. So he was not available for full participation in the opening practice. Marcus Smart had some left Achilles tendonitis, but I do want to give you guys a little bit of hope out there when it comes to Marcus Smart. He did some running and a little bit of activity, as you see right there. So there was at least some activity by him, but he was held out of full training camp duties due to left Achilles tendonitis. Again, maybe that's the start of something. Maybe that's just something left over. We'll have to wait and see. Gabe Vincent had some left knee management to start off training camp, but Reddick, aka Coach JJ Reddick, said that Vincent should be available for the preseason opener against the Suns on Friday. So we're looking forward to that. And last, but certainly not least, was LeBron James, who they announced on Twitter through several sources that LeBron's camp notified the Lakers camp that they're going to take a slow approach, ramp up to the season, which is fine by me in his 20-something season and his age 41 season going on. I don't mind at all. They can slow ramp him all they want leading up to the beginning of the season. But today, the official excuse why he was not in the training camp, and boy, this was a butt, pardon the pun, of a lot of jokes in our WhatsApp chat. But LeBron James had what JJ Redick called a little bit of a nerve irritation in the glute. And again, I'll leave that to your imagination and adolescent jokes if you want to go ahead and put that in there. But yes, a little nerve irritation in the glute was the excuse for LeBron not being a participant in today's camp. Again, LeBron's camp has consulted, according to sources, with the Lakers camp, and they are ramping him up for the season opener against Golden State, which is fine by me. Which is absolutely fine by me. I don't need to go to Las Vegas here when they come by Las Vegas and see him play 20, 25 minutes. I don't need to see that. I need to see him ready to get in gear, get in shape, and be okay for the start of the season. When you've got a guy that's pushing 41 years old, no matter how good he is, Father Time is breathing down his neck. It's just fine by me how cautiously or carefully they want to approach him to the season, so that I'm not really concerned about it at all. Best league, I would with him. You have to go with this, and as far as you have to err on the side of caution when you have an older player like that. With Marcus Smart, again, 54 games in 2 years. You have to be cautious. Gabe Vincent, he's now a grizzled vet who's had injuries. Remember, he was out almost the entire year 2 seasons ago. You have to be cautious with these guys. And Adil Thiero, if he's still got left knee swelling, you got to keep him out as well. You can't push these guys in training camp because we've already seen in training camps and even previous training camps, as far as the workouts leading up to training camp, we've seen some injuries that are resulting in extended 1, 2, even 3-month outages as far as people being out of the lineup for that period of time. And that's what I want to try and avoid for this. Thaman says we have too much offense if we use the same starters replacing Hayes with Ayton. I prefer the Smart balance by starting either Smart or Vando. I know it's not likely, Gerald. I wouldn't do it, Thameless. I wouldn't do it. I say on this show, and I'll say it again, and we're seeing it right now with the fact that Marcus Smart was held out with left Achilles tendonitis. I would not put Vando in there because he's such a liability on offense, and Marcus Smart has to prove to me he can stay out on the floor. It is too much of a risk. I understand that we have too much offense out there. The Lakers, if you replace Hayes with Ayton, and you've got the regular 4 starters you have last season. During the course of the season, the Lakers, if you use that starting lineup, will be one of the top 5 offensive starting lineups in the league. They could also be one of the bottom 5 defensive starting lineups in the league. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying it's the reality. But I don't agree with you on Vando. I've gotten off of Vando Hill. I think the team is really has to see if Vando has anything left, because he's now, that contract is not looking good. That extension by Rob Pleinka is not looking good right now. So I'm hopeful that you saw him earlier today in camp doing that action pose, going up for a layup, looking a little bit better. He says he's feeling better for the first time in a long time. So I'm hopeful that Vando can turn around, because what we saw last year was abysmal, and it was smart. You just can't take the risk, Thameless, of putting him in there and him getting hurt in the 3rd or 4th season if you're so dependent on him in the starting lineup. You've got to see if he's going to be able to stay on the court first before you make that move. I would give it 10, 15 games before you try to think about making that move if the defense is just that bad, because the offense for the starting lineup should be that good. There should be enough offense to make up for it during the regular season. As far as that's concerned, I would not risk putting Smart and Vando in the starting lineup until either or both prove to me that they can stay on the court, and B, they can still defend at a decent level. I'm not asking a high level, Thameless. I'm asking for a decent level. I think the days of Smart reaching that DPOY, and that's the thing you guys got to get out of your mind. This is not the DPOY Marcus Smart. That was years ago. If he's still an adequate or good defender, that's what we can hope for. That's what we should hope for with Marcus Smart, but he has to prove it out on the court that he can stay healthy. It would just ruin the rhythm if you put him in the starting lineup and he gets hurt in his 1st or 2nd game. I have to see him out there on the floor first, because 54 games in 2 years, that means something. That means the NBA passes you on by if you are not a part of it, or if you're not very much a part of it. And we've got to see if he's lost a step, or if he's actually just been injured, and that he's on the road to recovery, and that he can still play at a good level going forward. And that's maybe something the exhibition games, by the time he gets in there, can help us see, or early in the season. And then we could discuss 10, 15 games in. If the starting lineup is that atrocious on defense and Smart is giving you 20 to 25 minutes a game off the bench, then make the move. Make the move then, because you really don't want to go ahead and just break the rhythm right away, especially in ruining a contract year where you could have him shooting 40+% from 3 starting off the bat. And that's one thing I like to see work itself out. JSJ says hopefully Smart will be like a Christian Wood type sign. I don't think it will be, JSJ. I don't think it will be, although it will be more expensive than Christian Wood. Remember, Christian Wood signed for the veterans minimum, so it wasn't like it's a big thing as far as cap space is concerned. Smart, if he doesn't pan out and has to pick up the 2nd year option on his contract, that's a little bit more of a hit, but it's still not a whole heck of a lot. Search and Destroy says Smart, if healthy, will be huge, but yes, we have to wait and see. I would have to wait and see, because again, it's already starting right there, guys. Left Achilles tendonitis. That's not a good way to start your training camp, especially if you only played 54 games in 2 years. Search, great to have you here. Bloodhound, what's up, my friend? Great to have you here. It's so funny because my co-host, I mentioned your comment, Bloodhound, about Triple H to my co-host, John Orlando, for the State of Pro Wrestling, and we just laughed, but he agreed. He agreed that how the times have changed, how Triple H was this time last year was much beloved and getting all the flowers, to this time. You're right, Bloodhound. You're not the only one who's saying he's ruining WWE. Best League, what's up? Stefano Piscano podcast. Wow. What's up? How you doing, Stefano Piscano podcast? Great to have you here. Pleinka had an A+ off season to me, swapping DFS for Lavravia, Smart, and Aiden, re-signing Luka, and pulling off the most lopsided move in NBA history at the deadline, shocking some fans. Hate Rob. I don't hate Rob. I just think he's had a very up and down career as far as his evaluation of talent. But landing Luka, whether you want to say he made the trade, he had to execute the trade. So you have to give him props for that. Whether or not he landed in his lap or not, it's there. It's there. It's there, black. But with that though, I think he had a good offseason. I wouldn't call it an A+ offseason, because of A+ offseason, he would have gone all in. He would have gone all in and done things to shore up the bench. Shore up the bench to really get this going as far as a team that can compete for world championships. So I'd have to disagree with you, Stefan. In regards to that, I think it's a solid B minus right there, because it is with those acquisitions are very low cost, potentially high reward acquisitions. If Marcus Smart returns to his former glory, if DeAndre Ayton understands fully, like he says, which we'll lead to in a minute with the Obsession T-shirts, if DeAndre Ayton realizes that his potential as a starting center in the NBA is on the line and his chance for big dollars is on the line, so he needs to play like it. Jake LaRavia, I give you props on that one, because of the fact that Jake LaRavia had a really good year last year after having his fourth year option on his rookie deal declined by Memphis. Really took it to heart that if he didn't play better, he wasn't going to be in the NBA. He did. So I see a kid still in his early 20s that can be able to grow even further, and on a fairly cheap contract, I think it was a really good move. Again, I don't give it an A+, because again, I don't think that they did everything that they needed to do to shore up all the weaknesses with rebounding and the bench and defensive perimeter that they could have. But it was a good offseason. I will give you that. It's a good offseason, but again, as the fact that they want to go ahead and keep the all in for 26 and 27 for cap space instead of going all in right now. I'd have to prevent that from doing an A+ on that. I don't think you could say that it's an A+ because of the fact that they did not go all in. But they've got three low cost, potentially high reward, very high ceiling type players potentially if they go ahead and do that. But Stefan, great to have you here. Truly appreciate you joining us, and hopefully your continued success with your podcast. Happy International Podcast Day to you, and continued success with your shows moving forward. And if you ever want to talk Lakers, you're always welcome to come by and talk with us on the crew here at the Lakers Fast Break by just hitting us up, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Truly cannot thank you guys enough, but I take a B. Some of the Lakers channels I subscribe to think Rob is the worst GM in sports, and thanks for the support also, brother. I will say this. I'm not a huge fan of Rob. I'm not going to be dishonest with you, Stefan. I'm not going to be dishonest with you. We have mocked Rob on this show. At one time, even Joe had a Halloween mask. Well, he actually was just printed out on a piece of paper. But as his Halloween mask had Rob because of our hatred at Rob at that point in time. Again, it's been very up and down. For every Luka, there's been the Russell Westbrook. For every championship that he's had in 2020, like in the bubble, the moves that he made that couldn't get another title right behind it, people will point to. With Rob letting Alex Caruso walk over THT, drafting JHS, giving Vanderbilt the extension, those are faux pas. Those are things that I would say, and no GM gets everything right. Even Sam Presti, he has not gotten everything right. I mean, the 3 draft picks he gave to New York for Ousmane Dieng, obviously that hasn't panned out. So nobody gets everything right. And I'd be the first one to say it. I'm not in love with Rob. I don't think he's the worst GM in the league. I don't think he's the best GM in the league. I've stated that I think he's somewhere in the middle-ish type for me. I just think you could get better, but the thing is right now, there are not many candidates out there that you get are better, and he's proving himself with the JJ Redick extension that he's trying to keep, and also his own extension from Genie, that he's going to be there for a while, whether I think we like it or not. I think if even Mark Walter comes in there, it's looking more and more likely when Mark Walter becomes the official owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. Normally, tradition is I'm going to get my own guys in there, but with the extensions for Rob, the extensions for JJ, I think that's something that Jeannie didn't do just offhandedly. I'm sure she consulted Mark Walter on it, and it's looking more and more like. And Gregory Brown, please cover your ears when I say this. That Rob may be here for longer than you like, Greg. I know Greg hates it. Stefan, yeah, our audience is really mixed on Rob, but you know what? When you land Luka Doncic, you can make everything right, Stefan. You can make everything right with it and how you build with him going forward. And I'm hopeful for that. But I do think that the fact that your the treatment of the team in regards to LeBron, glute issues aside, and again, put your jokes in there if you want. That's up to you. I think that's fine. Fine. I have no problems them doing a slow ramp up for him, getting him to the season opener because I just want him to be okay to start the season. But if that's the case, old school football. All right, great to have you here. Yes, even though you're very insulting, we still like to have you here anyways. And you're incorrect. I've been doing this for several years. No basketball up and down, blindfolded, much more than you in your whole body. But that's okay. We still like having you here anyways. As far as your insultingness, but that's up to you. Thamus, we have too much offense. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. All right. I hope the acute Search and Destroy said, I hope the Adu kid pans out. That could be big for us. Athletically, he probably already jumps in there with ahead of Bronny as the most athletic guy on the team. Search once he gets his knee right. Question is his health. First off, his health. What is his health like going to be going forward? That having knees issues right off the get go for your NBA career is not how you really want to start your career. And he hasn't played a minute of real basketball either at the summer league level or in training camp level, which is a concern. So he is already behind Search from the get-go, which is as you know is hard for a rookie to go ahead and catch up with. So if he gives us anything, it would probably be halfway through the season later on this year before JJ starts to really trust him, or maybe the attrition because of injuries, or again, if the bench does not give us what we need to give us, JJ's going to be trying everybody out there at the back end of the lineup. You might see Nick Smith Jr., you might see Koloko, you might see Bronny, whether you like it or not, and you might see Adu Thiero coming out of there. And again, Adu Thiero, the concerns to me is and I noted this when we drafted him, and I spoke about this with Stone Hansen in my conversation with him. He shot under 30% from three, under 30% from three in college, which, as you know, is a shorter vantage point. So he definitely has to become more consistent as a shooter. I know he's good going to the free, but he has to become a better shooter overall in this league in order to. Here's a stat for you, Gerald. Jared Vanderbilt shot 37 on layups last season. Yeah, I'm off. Vando. I am off Vando Hill. We don't even need to know that. In Joe's case, Joe Soro always was pointing out the fact he couldn't even catch the ball before he took it up and missed the layup. It's that bad right now when it comes to what we're seeing with Jared Vanderbilt. I'm hoping that the foot injuries were part of that issue last season and he'll be able to recover. But man, he has a long way to go. I know that he'll get shots because he's a veteran and he's been on the team a while and he has the 3-year contract still left out there. He'll get shots and he'll get opportunities from JJ Redick. So we will see what happens again. Kurt, what's going on, my friend? Great to have you here, my brother. Trojan fight. We fought hard. Fight on, Trojans. You know what? Just that defense at the last minute. They got us. Illinois got us at the last kick, but we came back hard. So hopefully we can take it on to Michigan coming up this weekend. Dalton Connect has a chance to redeem himself after poor summer league showing. If not, might be in trade-off. Dalton Connect, that's the problem, Trojan. If he doesn't become a consistent player in this league, how good is he as far as a trade asset? He's just like $4 million around there, because he's on the second year of his rookie contract, which again has to be decided upon if they want to continue it by Halloween. If he is still not an effective player out there shooting the ball, he is still one of the worst defenders in the NBA, Trojan, and that is a great concern. He has to find some toughness. He has to find some grit. He has to get his head right, and he has to be able to shoot like he once did and score like he once did when he was popping off for those games in the 20s and 30s that was getting LeBron and everyone in LA excited to go ahead and follow him. I'm hoping so because I think it's all up here. I really think it's all up here with him. I think he has talent to be in the league. I think he has talent to stay in the league. But again, it's all up to him because that trade, the Knicks trade, messed him up. And yeah, absolutely. Just we'll wait and see on Dalton Connect. Again, I'm really rooting for the kid. I liked seeing him that first day I saw him here at Summer League the season prior last summer. I'm really hopeful for the kid. Gerald, you should bet 5,000 on Lakers winning championship to make $500,000. Heck no, because the Lakers right now are not in a position I think that should be a favorite to win CS. So they are a long shot right now to win the championship, and it is going to be based on Luka having an MVP season. If Luka is MVP of the season for the NBA, if he's the official MVP, the Lakers will be up there, and the Lakers will have a chance to win a title. But that has to happen for this to continue. Kurt Affair says, hopefully all the injured guys and LeGlute will be healthy in a week. Kurt, I think it's just, again, I don't think you will see much of him in the exhibition season or very little in the exhibition season. I think, again, as they said in the reports today on the Twitter, that you're going to go ahead and see a slow ramp up for LeBron leading up to the opening day game against Golden State, because again, as you know, it sounds like the Kawhi thing now. LeBron's camp talking to the Lakers front office about how they wanted to manage his time during the offseason. So we will see what happens. But yeah, Trayvon, you know what? Congratulations, the Aces. You know, they really wanted to give it to the Indiana Fever, give them a lot of credit. They lost a lot of players they lost main players during the season. They lost main players during that game, and they still came back and almost beat the Aces. So I'm giving them a lot of credit. The Aces, you know what? They dodged a bullet, and we'll see, and we'll find out come Las Vegas here on Friday if they can get it done 3 times in the finals in 4 years from them. So this is old hat, and then I just wish them the success for the city of Las Vegas, which, you know, with the Raiders, the Raiders right now, sorry, Magic and Xbox, but the Raiders right now, you know, Las Vegas kind of needs a winner right now. Because the Golden Knights, they're only in exhibition season right now. They lost tonight, but they're only in exhibition season. But that's a long way to go for their season right now. But yes, we'll see what happens. But Las Vegas is always popping with some good stuff. That's the one thing. If you live here in Vegas, there's always something going on each and every week. Raiders will overcome. Wow. I hope so, Serge. But you got to tell Geno Smith to stop throwing to the other team. He's completing as many passes to the other team as he is his own team. That's a scary proposition. Trojan Fight says, when did the A's start playing in Vegas? I think it's 28. I could be wrong in that, Trojan, but I think it's 2028. If you go by there right now, it's where the Tropicana Hotel used to be. There's still just, you know, not much there right now. But again, it's going to build slowly. I think 2028 is the target date for that, if I'm not mistaken. But nobody here in the city is really excited for it. I mean, it's going to be like the Raiders. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Raiders Vegas game with Spiro Ditas, who again, I don't know how you guys feel out there, but he should be the Lakers announcer to this day. But the Lakers didn't keep him because he wanted to do his stuff with CBS, and they didn't. And man, he is one of the best there is. Spiro was on the call for the Las Vegas Raiders and the Chicago Bears, and he was talking about, and you can see it, 50-50. 50-50 was the crowd. I went to 3 games last year, and it was either 70-30, the other team, 60-40, or 50-50. Actually, I'm sorry, the Falcons were like 40% Falcons fans. It was slightly a majority for the Raiders fans, but that was, it's just hilarious because it's a transient town, a transient team, a transient city. You can put all that in there like Joe does, but because it's an easy place to fly into. Flights are still relatively comparatively inexpensive compared to other cities, like Atlanta. It's a hub. Atlanta and Las Vegas are hubs for the East and West Coast. It's really easy to fly in, fly out. Lots of flights going in and out. It's easy for people of other friends of other teams to really come in and watch the Raiders because there's always tickets to be had. Stefan says, I actually have a bet on your Raiders this week, 6.5 against the Colts Raiders. Good luck, Stefan. Good luck. Because Gino, I think he leads the NFL in interceptions. I'll just leave it at that. Interceptions right now are a little bit of a bugaboo for Gino. He didn't use at all his top wide receiver, his 2 top wide receivers, and Brock Bowers. How do you not find Brock Bowers 10 times a game? I do not know. I seriously do not know. But yes, great. I hope you guys do, because Sean, I hate to see Xbox and Sean get roasted live by Vari, aka Sports Baby, in the chat we do. But they do. They were so mad when they lost the game this weekend. So I'll just leave it at that. But I just wanted to go ahead and get you guys updated for today in regards to day 1 in training camp. I also wanted to mention before we head out that the situation for at least one of the I don't think Grimes got solved yet, but he has to be solved within the next 24 hours. I do know that the Jonathan Kuminga deal, as far as that's concerned, that was taken care of today. Jonathan Kuminga, he did not take the qualifying hour. He did take the 2-year, I think it's around 46 million. I'm going to go ahead and find out. I think it's 46 or 45. I think it's 45. Oh, it'd be 22.5 million for this upcoming season, and gets 26 next season on the team option. So he did acquiesce to the team option, which was a key sticking point in their negotiations between the 2 and 3 years. They're trying that it should make him easier to trade once he becomes eligible in January. Make a note of that, guys. He becomes eligible in January for trade. But Kuminga's salary will be $22.5 million for this upcoming season. That's why they were able to add on Seth Curry earlier today onto the roster for Golden State and add him on. If he'd been any more expensive, they would have not been able to add on Seth Curry, and that wouldn't have made the Curry family really happy at all. So, yes, it looks like it did work out. I bet he's not going to be the happiest camper, though, after what happened. It was pretty sticky. It was pretty contentious. This is not the deal that he wanted. It's not the deal that he liked, but I guess the first year, $22.5 million was something that he wanted. More than the $8 million. In the end, it was just about more money that first year, and we'll see what happens there. But again, it's a team option on the second year for $26 million. So it's, I believe, a $48.5 million total as far as that's concerned, 2-year deal. But the second year is a team option, so that's going to be something very interesting to see how this plays out as far as that's concerned. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out. I just caught the damn Aussies comment that you made, Serge. There you go. But great to have you guys here. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Was this something good for Golden State? I mean, I don't think he's still going to be happy heading into training camp tomorrow for Golden State Warriors. I still think this is still a bitter situation. I don't think he lasts the season at Golden State. I think they move on from him. And I really think that it's going to be something where he's going to be looking for a deal elsewhere. I know there was an issue about the birds' rights, retaining the birds' rights as well. So yeah, that's going to be a concern. Current affair, they're like the Lakers and they're like Houston. They're up against the second tax apron. They needed to sign him. I mentioned this yesterday, I believe. They needed to sign him to something like 23 million for this year in order for them to sign another player on a veterans minimum and get them into camp. So that's what they did. They signed him at 22 and a half for this upcoming season. 26 is the team option for next year. But they were allowed to do that and get Seth Curry in there. And again, like the Lakers, like Houston, and like other teams, they are rubbing up against that second tax apron. So they now have to play cap gymnastics for anything that they do moving forward. But it'll be interesting to see. Yes, we have a lot of holes, fam. Search. Yeah, we still do. And that's Stephon. All respect to him because he really likes that offseason. And again, these were good, low risk, high reward moves by the Lakers. And I give Rob credit. You have to give Rob credit for that. But Rob made it clear, and actually it was Rich Paul who made it clear that the Lakers are on two different timelines, like right now and also moving forward with saving the cap space for 26 and 27. So I think there were some things that were during the summer that they could have done, could have traded for more depth. I think they could have gone hard after Herb Jones, who would have been the really type of player that I think the Lakers could have flourished with. They could have danced with that and seen what they got out with New Orleans before they signed. New Orleans signed him to a contract extension, so he's probably there for a while, along with Trey Murphy. Those two players I would have loved to have on the Lakers, but again, it wasn't to be. I wanted him to go all in, and he didn't do it. Maybe try harder for Walker Kessler or something like whatever you want to say. I still think it was a very good offseason for the Lakers, and I'm not going to disparage Rob, or trash Rob for doing that, because he sees that he could have got these guys on the cheap, for lack of a better word. They're highly incentivized. All three of them, even Laravia. Laravia has a 2-year contract, but he is playing for his future. He needs to make an impression with the Lakers. He needs to play well with the Lakers so that he can either get extended by the Lakers or become a key piece somewhere else or get a big contract somewhere else in the summer of 27. So again, 7 players right now for the Lakers are playing for their NBA futures, which I think is very key to the Lakers' success during the course of the season. And if you're picking them high based on that, I think that's very sound for you guys to do so. I am still considering where I'm putting the Lakers, but I am strongly considering the fact that during the regular season, they will be heavily monetarily incentivized, a lot of the guys there, to do very well. Austin Reeves, Rui Hashimura, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent. All these guys are financially, Jackson Hayes, all these guys are financially incentivized to play to the best of their abilities and to show people that they have value in the NBA going forward. And if they don't, then it's not going to be a good season for the Lakers. And guess what? They're not going to get the chunk of change as well. And that's going to be an issue for them. Because right now, with Vincent, he is playing for his NBA life, in my opinion. He's playing for, next year, let's say he has another substandard season. He'll be someone that's trying to fight on a roster spot next season. Maxi Kleber is fighting to stay in the NBA, and it's a 33-year-old starting to get over the hill, coming off of 3 disastrous seasons with Dallas Mavericks. He needs to go ahead and show people he could still be a guy that could be a stretch 4/5 that could, in spots, really help you out in rotation and stay in the league and get another 1 or 2 years or 3 years before he has to go back to playing in Europe. So there you go. Legend, what's going on, my friend? Looking forward to hopping on your show. Of course, I got Next Sports Media, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Kurt Affair, yes, I told Thameless, and I told guys, Gregory and all those guys, I would touch on the Obsession t-shirts. Yes, so earlier today, Rob Pleinka. This Stefan, and don't take this wrong. I know that I'm not trying to hate on Rob, but I think this was a little. This is interesting. Again, some people have reacted positively to this, some people have not. But you see on the thumbnail that I put, he passed out those T-shirts today, and that's the obsession. Is the 18th championship for the Lakers, and that should be exactly what it is. I don't know if you need to spell it on a T-shirt, but okay, whatever gets your motor going. The question is, Stefan, again, when it goes back to it, should the obsession have started in the offseason by going all in? Or is the obsession getting the 18th not going to take place until after what happens in the summer 26 or 27 when the Lakers have much more cap space? That's the thing. I don't want this to be a gap year. I don't want this to be a year where you waste a year of Luka's prime and you really could have shored up a lot of things. If the Lakers had those opportunities during the course of summer, I don't know. I wasn't in the front office. I don't know if he made the call or he got the calls that could have done that. But I would have liked to have seen something that says, you know what, we have that obsession for the 18th world title, because it takes more than a T-shirt to go ahead and do just that. But that's why I put that up there as far as the thumbnail. That's what it's all about, the obsession T-shirts. They do look cool. I will give them that. And, I'm sure they'll be on sale soon at the local Lakers store, or maybe NBA.com or to Lakers.com or what have you. But yeah, absolutely. Trojan fight. Didn't Maxi Kleber hit a game winner against LA at some point last year? It might have been. No, it was 2023, Trojan. It was years ago. Because remember, last year with Dallas, he was hurt for most of the season with a foot injury. He started off the season really poor, got injured, and then he was injured. He was the filler. He was the salary filler in the Luka trade, or essentially a throw-in. For that matter, let's just call it what it is. He was the throw-in in that trade with Luka on that. Legend 350, great to have you here. I got to get you back on the program, Legend 350, but I'm grateful that I have the opportunity in the coming days to go ahead and appear on yours to talk sports. Looking forward to it indeed. That is, again, I got an Sports Media. There you go. He gave out Obsession Cologne. I don't know if he gave out Obsession Cologne. I'm sure he didn't, because that is actually a real thing, but he gave out those Obsession T-shirts. But you're right, he should have added the cologne to it. Put a nice little box set right there with, folded up the T-shirt real nice, and then put it inside a box of Obsession Cologne. And then, there you go. I don't need any of the dramatic cologne commercials like they do with, like Johnny Depp and all that stuff, as far as the watches or the perfumes or the colognes, all that, like they do. I could do without that, but he gave out T-shirts. And again, if that's truly the obsession, put in your Animotion song there. If that's truly your obsession, Rob, I hope you follow through with it. And if the Lakers do play at the level that Stefan thinks, that Xbox thinks that they can, if they are top 3 in the West coming into trade season, and you have a chance to fix those deficiencies and compete at a very high level in the Western Conference and finish in a spot where you can challenge for a championship, I hope he does have the obsession to go ahead and make that a reality, as far as making the moves that can put us over the top. Kurt says Xbox. Yeah, the Anchorman reference. There you go. There you go, indeed. Jake, yeah, Kleber has been awful the past few seasons, Jay. It's the classic situation. He signs the big fat contract, and then he gets injured, and then he gets injured, and then his play deteriorates and deteriorates. I mean, guys could just go look back on Basketball Reference and see it, but Frank can tell you personally, whenever he stops by, he's one of our resident Dallas fans. He could just tell you right away that we've seen the decline of Maxi Kleber. I'm hoping that what he said was true. He says he's in great shape. He says he's healthy. He's ready to go. And I'm hopeful that he'll be able to help the Lakers because their rotation needs all the help it can get as far as beyond man number 7. Because I'm pretty convinced Jake LaRavia will give us something decent off the bench. And I'm pretty convinced that if he's healthy, Marcus Smart or whoever's there, whether it's Austin or Rui or Marcus, will come off the bench and give us something as well. After that, it's a guessing game. And again, it's a guessing game. You guys can't convince me about Vando. You can't convince me about Dalton. You can't convince me about Gabe Vincent. You can't convince me about Jackson Hayes. You can't convince me about Bronny James. You can't convince me about Adutiero. You can't convince me about Nick Smith Jr. And you can't convince me about Christian Coloco. You got and Maxi Kleber. You guys can't convince me on those guys because all those guys, to one extent or another, have had issues during their times with the Lakers that have made it inconsistent for me to think that they're just going to pop up and be a consistent part of the rotation right away. Now, they all will probably have the opportunity to be a productive member of the rotation. It's up to them to take advantage of it and do that. They won't all get the advantage right away. They won't all get the opportunity right away. But in an 82-game season, as you guys know, in an 82-game season, you guys know that they will each get the opportunity to be looked at. And even a Joe will wince when I say this. Even Bronny will probably get a look. Maxi Kleber will get a look. Nick Smith Jr., if he shoots well in the G League or what have you, will probably get a look as well because he's on a two-way and he'll have some time on the Lakers bench as well. So I'm looking forward to see what happens. Best League says Baby Bronny will deliver. I don't know, Best League. It was an up and down summer for him, but it was infinitely better than last summer, but it was still very up and down. Very up and down. He still shoots at a below average rate. You're hoping that his defensive ability will overcome that. But then again, we have other players that do the same thing. Marcus Smart does the same thing as Bronny. A average to below average shooter who can defend at a decent level. And you don't know. I mean, if he gets hurt, then obviously that moves Bronny up. If Vanderbilt gets hurt, that obviously moves Bronny up for that type of positional need. But yeah, I think he'll get each and every one of those guys will get a look at some point in time during the season. But yeah, Serge, I mean, it's the reality. It's the reality. For me, there has to be a lot of convincing beyond man number 7 because they've all let us down. All of them, each and every one of them, except for Nick Smith Jr. Well, Nick Smith Jr. let Charlotte down. They let Charlotte down. In regards to, he's a first round, even though he's a late first rounder, he's still a first round draft bust to them. So, he'll have to wait and see what he can give the team, but he might pan out to be the best of these guys that I mentioned, the best of the afterthoughts, because, he can have that ability. I mean, he shot 43% from 3 in limited action in his first year. If he can get anywhere close to that type of shooter and scorer coming off the bench, now, mind you, he's not a great defender at all, but still, if he can get that type of offense coming off the bench, that would be infinitely helpful to the Lakers this season. Best League says, I'm so high on our preseason games because of Bronny. I don't know why, Best. I mean, I don't. He had very much an up and down summer. I mean, do you remember the 8 turnovers he had in one game in Summer League when they put him at point guard? So you can't put him at point guard at the NBA because if he makes 8 turnovers in one game as the point guard there, yeah, and I pointed out during the summer that I think he shot 30, 32, 33, which is a vast improvement. 33, 32, 33% from 3, which is a vast improvement over what we saw the previous season. I mean, that's obviously a step up. He'll get a shot. He'll get a chance. I just don't know if he's ready for it. That we'll have to wait and see if that was the case. But yeah, all about Luka Xbox. Luka, for all the things I said, Luka was good. according to JJ. And obviously that is the key on how good Luka is. I've heard even more shows, NBA shows that cover the league that spend a lot of time watching EuroLeague ball. They were really motivated by Luka's play, about how much the weight loss and the him being in shape really affected his play in a positive manner. Instead of sticking with double teams and double teams staying able to stick with him, he was able to slip by them a lot easier. Now, again, we haven't seen it on the NBA level, but this gives people hope as far as his ability to get to the line. You saw how heavily he relied on that in EuroLeague. I'm assuming that's going to be the same thing here. He's going to get into the line a lot. Can he really convert it like he did in EuroLeague at an 85% clip or thereabouts? That was really what I really took away from his ability to get the line, his speed, his dexterity, his a little bit more athletic. I saw really improvements on that level, and the fact again that he was converting his free throws was really a bonus to me, because it really helps if he's hitting 83 to 85% of his free throws. That makes it that's just more points. That's just more free throws. That's more made opportunities, and that really helps out, over the course of a season and in game by game as well. Search and Destroy said we have to make a trade. We might have to make a trade. He's in his prime. Well, that's what I was trying to say to Stefan, because I just think you cannot waste any years of Luka's prime. And I'm not going to say they wasted it this summer. They had, again, some very low risk, potentially high reward moves. I just don't want to see them waste a year where Luka's one of the top 3 players in the league and just get to like a 4th place finish or a 5th place finish and a first or a second round. I think that would be a disappointment because of how great Luka would be playing. If Luka plays at the level where he's a top 3 player in the league and you don't take full advantage of that, that's an issue, because he can carry a team, but he can only carry a team so far. You have to have the right players around him to help him so he can take you over the top. And I don't know if they have that right now. Again, very low risk, high reward opportunities. But when it comes to what Rob wants to do, we'll have to wait and see if he can just evaluate this team as for what it is and see what they need going forward this season. And I'm hopeful that'll make the moves. I mean, I hear from and read it from Laker Tom almost every day on Lakerholics.com about how badly he wants the Lakers to go all in right now. JSJ says, Luka the LA Knight of the NBA. Well, again, he's should be the focus of the team right now. JSJ, it's Luka's team. LeBron, for all the things that he's done in the league, and you have to compliment him on all the great things that he's done over the course of his 20 plus years in the league. But at this point in time, if you're ramping him up slowly, if you're going to, I don't want to say baby him, but take care of him as far as watch his minutes, watch, because he's going to want to play 35, 37 minutes. But if you want to watch the back-to-backs, watch him games, make sure he may not play back-to-backs, or he may only play some back-to-backs, or what is his health like, or if he's getting a little sore, more tired than normal, you're going to sit him down. They're going to treat him more carefully than they have in previous seasons. And I think that's just smart. That's not the way, I know that a lot of people out there are going to like it, but again, we're dealing with a guy who has the athletic ability, who's doing things in his 40s no one ever in the NBA has done. That's one thing. Whether you hate LeBron, you love LeBron, whether you think LeBron's the greatest like John does, or you don't like Joe and I do, he is doing things at the age of 40 plus that no one has ever done. Don't give me Jordan even, because Jordan did not look like anywhere near the Jordan when he was playing with Washington. He was a back to the basket player. He wasn't the most efficient. LeBron, efficiency wise and playing wise, has outclassed him there. Again, nobody in the history of this league, but he is still 41, and you have to approach it in a careful fashion. So we will wait and see how this works out. But search on that funny. So there you go. Of course, from Kurt Affair. I sent Sith Joe energy around you, Kurt Affair. There you go. Sith Joe, indeed. Again, I put out, as always, the invite to Joe, but I know he's busy doing his Sin Blaze things, artificial turf things. He told me that he's going to be very busy. Business is really good for him right now. And I think we all should be happy for him, despite our trashing him all the time. In fact, I had a great listener out there. You put in a comment. Truly appreciate the comment that you sent in. And then he made the mention that his favorite comment of all time was Joe's sorrow. And so big shout out to you for saying that. It was great to read your comment and the fact that you love the show. And it was just truly appreciated by me. And again, you guys, I'm just trying to get you out content out there as best I can. And I'm looking forward to a great season. I'm hoping to get John on tomorrow night. I'm hoping to get Magic Man. Yes, there is life with Magic Man, Sean Grice. And I'm looking forward to getting him back on the show. He's had some technical difficulties and some life things going on as well. He's been a very busy guy with his own work. So I look forward to getting him back on the show as well. But I will try to get my good friend John Costa on tomorrow night, whether we get into doing a Lakers Fast Break Radio or not. I don't know if we are, because we may not have Joe. If we don't have Joe, I'm not sure I want to do a full 3 hours, but we'll wait and see. But I will get something for you guys, hopefully tomorrow night as well. Yes, he is doing well. Magic. We did hear from Magic Man today. He seemed in good spirits, Kurt. He's back in good graces with everyone, as far as we're back in good graces with him, which is always a good thing. And I just wish him all the success and love in the world, because he truly is a great guy. And I know I will be talking to him soon. And you never know. The Toronto Raptors are nearing the end of the team reviews, and you never know who might want to go ahead and live in the Toronto area that might want to talk about them. So I'll just say that. Indeed. JY says LeBron being 40 is an excuse. We should look at LeBron as a max player, since that's what he's getting paid. I see your point, JY, that he's getting the 50 some odd million a year. But the human body is the human body. I don't know, whether he's making 50 million or 20 million or 100 million. I don't know how you differently. If you tell LeBron, screw you, you're making 50 plus million. I want you to go out there right now. I don't give a damn about your butt or glute, for lack of a better term. And just go out there and hit the practice floor and be ready for the exhibition games and tear it up. If you don't treat that carefully and he blows an Achilles, or he has a knee injury and his career's over, then it will not look good. Best. The Lakers cannot win in this situation. Best. They cannot win. If they push him too hard, push him too fast, push him too soon, they're going to say why are you doing that to this guy in his 41-year age season? And if he gets injured, it's going to blow up in your face. And if you don't, and you treat it carefully, and you approach it a little bit more slowly and surely, especially in the front part of the season, and you ramp it up from there, then you're going to say you're babying him too much. You just can't win. I'm going to err on the side of caution when it comes to LeBron, because again, no one at this age has the ability to do the things that he can do on this court. I mean, even his detractors have to admit that. His biggest detractors have to admit that. So in doing that, I don't want to go ahead and push the needle too fast on that. Search and Destroy, truly appreciate your help, your modding, all the mods out there. Cannot thank you enough. Kurt, Xbox, SB, everyone out there that's a mod. Truly appreciate you being part of what our great community is here at the Lakers Fast Break. And thank you so much for the super chat. He says, great show, fam. Cannot thank you enough for doing that. JY says, half of Lakers fans don't care if LeBron stays or goes, honestly. You're right, JY. But he's here now, and he is sucking up 50 million of the cap. but he's also, even at this age, if he's playing well, you and I both know he's still good for a guy. How many guys out there can still get you 22? I'm going to say 22, 5-5. Let's go 22, 5-5, 22, 6-6. If he gets you that at 41 years of age, how many 41-year-olds can do that and have done that in the league? Not too many. So, I'm not being a LeBron fanatic. I'm not being a LeBron hater. I'm just, me, I just call it like I see it. And again, he is here on the team for at least one with this season. And if we have to deal with it, we might as well approach it into an intelligent fashion. Plus, JY, the little bit of a headache with the LeBron camp thing again, because that's when they put out the tweets and all that, the one thing I just kind of annoyed me, because here we go, just like Kawhi, it's always the Kawhi camp. This is now the LeBron camp. LeBron camp talking to the Lakers. Can we just get off that? It's just this stuff is just childish, and just say, you know what, he's 41 years old. Want to ramp him up to be ready for opening night, and just say it like that. You don't have to cut it any other way. If he's got a little tingling in his buttock cheek, okay, it is what it is, and there you go. We can't replace LeBron until 2027. Well, I mean, the cap space comes off the books in 2026, so I don't know what you're talking about there. His $52.6 million comes off the books in 2026. There you go. Yeah. So we can't, unless he wants to be traded. If this all goes to crap and he wants to be traded by the end of the season, then there you go. But we have to deal with the LeBron issues till the end of the season. And JY, I can sense your frustration, and I can very much empathize with it, and I understand it. And you see it on Joe when every time he's here, he just wants to move on from the LeBron era. And you know what? He's saying all the right things at media day. The Lakers have said all the right things at media day. We'll see how long it stays the right things going forward. But again, as a 41-year-old, they're going to be erring on the side of caution. I would rather do that than push him too hard, too fast, too soon as a 41-year-old, or going to be 41-year-old, and costing the Lakers maybe the season, because Luka does need a support player who can give you moments of greatness. And that's what he can still give you, is moments of greatness. Can't do it like he used to. No one should expect him to. There are those days where he looks like old LeBron, and you guys saw it during the course of the season, but there are still moments where he can still look like LeBron, and he can still do things on the team that virtually no one outside of Luka can do at times. But you have to be able to treat him right, or treat his body right. And he knows his own body better than anyone, and be able to take care of that accordingly. You guys have been great to see. Again, you guys, outside of the football comment from earlier, so that was just really just not needed or not wanted. But other than that, you guys have been just truly sensational. Search and Destroy says we need Jesus if we're winning a chip. Well, Slim Jesus Search, I think I heard some disappointing news that he is not going back to finish high school in Arizona. And I believe he has to get his high school degree in the next couple of days, or by the 1st, I think, in order to be eligible for next summer's draft. He might have to petition the league if he wants to be eligible for next summer's draft. I'm talking about the Slim Jesus kid from Finland that played on Larry Markkanen's team this past summer. I think that kid might be good. I know he's a lot of highlights wrapped up into one, but I think he still might be good. We'll see. I can't wait to hear Stone Hansen's assessment of him when I get him back on the show. But yeah, Curtis Ferris says, I think KD already says he hopes to sign an extension in Houston. Yes, he did make that assessment that he does want to sign the contract. He said that right away, which again, the guys, if you would listen to some of the ESPN shows, on the Hoop Collective. They said that was the best thing about it because that he said it, he sat down and he immediately answered the first question right away, and that he done. He wants to sign an extension and he wants to stay in Houston, and he ended that conversation. Giannis, I don't know if you guys were watching Giannis, who had COVID and he had to do a Zoom call with reporters, but yeah, from Greece, by the way. That's very interesting stuff that he said. Kind of raises the eyebrow like The Rock a little bit. I'll just leave it at that. He could be thinking about greener pastures. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say about that. JY says, watching the Dodgers after the first game, they can't win a World Series without bullpen. Again, JY, I've said it all year long. And Joe, disregarded me and passed me off and said I didn't know nothing and all that, blah, blah, blah. I said they had one of the worst bullpens in the major leagues, and they never fixed it, and it never got better. They finished 20th in bullpen ERA. And how many times during the season did they just add gasoline on the fire? It is going to be very difficult for Dave Roberts to win a World Series this year. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm really rooting for Dodgers fans out there. I'm behind you 110%. As someone who's rooting for the Dodgers myself, I am really rooting for the Dodgers, but it is really going to be hard because the bullpen is that shaky. And I'll just leave it at that. You still don't know. See, there, he finally shows up when I'm ready to head on out. So, yeah, he still don't know. But I think they can win. I think they can win. So shut up. Yeah, that's right, Joe. Shut up, Joe. Absolutely. Thank you for saying that, Joe. On behalf of the Lakers Fast Break, shut up, Joe. Shut up, Joe, indeed. You should have gotten on the show, my friend. You're telling me you don't know where you're going to be here. You don't know if you're going to be there. You don't know where you're going to be. So I just had to get on the show and just make sure everybody was covered for day one of training camp. But we'll wait and see what happens. Bloodhouse said, yeah, Triple H did R-Truth dirty. The fans loved him. They did, and they did. They were chanting for him to come back. Triple H acquiesced and brought him back. They put him on a nice contract with WWE and have literally since day one he came back have done nothing with R-Truth. And he's around my age too, which his clock is ticking, and his usefulness in the ring is going to be limited. You only have so many bumps on the bump card. You should have done more with R-Truth. But if R-Truth, he's raking in more money. Good for him. Good for him. I'm sure he would like to be doing more. I'm sure if you asked him, he would tell you he'd want to do more. But you know what? Because of you out there, because of the fan response, you got him another contract, and good for him. And I'm hoping it's a big fat one, and I'm hoping he's getting paid, and because he deserves it over the course of the loyalty he's shown over the years with the WWE and the things he's done over the years. More power to him. Sports Baby said, sorry, I was busy. No worries. No worries. Rough Art says, Gerald, the haircut, you were looking like the guy who portrayed Tony Stark. Okay. Rough Artist, but great to have you here. I just like to keep it short. It's better if it's short. It's just easier to handle. And I'll just leave it at that. But yes, Bloodhound. Yeah, I'm glad R-Truth is getting some money. But yes, Sports Baby, yes, we wanted to wait until you got here, until Joe got in the chat before you guys could be here. But I think I'm going to head on out. My voice is starting to go. Kurt Affair says, Gerald is going to order some Drip Show Shut Up Joe merch. That's up to you guys if you want to do that. But if we ever did we have an LFB shop, but I don't think it has a Shut Up Joe or I'm in the results business t-shirts yet. That's something we got to work on, though. Putting Shut Up Joe and I'm in the results business. There you go. And then also Blankety Blank Brawny would probably be a good one as well. Who do you think, Gerald, is in the WM 42 main event next year? Ooh, that's a good question. I think CM Punk versus Seth Rollins closes out the show, and CM Punk will win. That's my personal opinion. That's what I would do. And I think I would give him a run, his final run as a world champion, because he's close. He's in his mid 40s, and he's already mentioned that he's closing the door pretty soon. That's what I would do. I would give him the title next year in Vegas over Seth Rollins in the main event. For the Cody Rhodes side, maybe Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns one more time. But I would make the main event Punk versus Rollins. That's just me. Again, this storyline. I'm okay, Punk fan. I'm not a huge Punk fan, but I'm an okay Punk fan. Seth Rollins has been always annoying to me, but a really good worker inside the ring. But the way the storyline is playing out, I hope it gets lengthened out. I hope it gets strung out to WrestleMania here in Vegas, and he gets the title, because I think that storyline has lasted for years. The real behind the scenes hatred has been matriculated on screen. They need to maybe get away from it for a couple months and get back to it in the lead up to WrestleMania. But I think it's still something that people want to see, and the fact that the real life wives got into it, I thought was great. Maybe they rushed it a little bit too soon for WrestlePalooza, but yeah, it's still good to see. Still good to see. You're a bum. Shut up, Joe. There you go. You're a bum. But anyways, I'm going to go. Thanks again for everybody joining me. JSJ said Sammy versus Seth, since Sammy might be the Royal Rumble winner. They've just never been behind Sammy, JSJ. When he was at his height of popularity and they had a chance, he was in Canada headlining a PLE against Roman Reigns. They should have had him win that title and carry it for a month and given it right back to Roman Reigns the next month. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. He got beaten in Canada at the height of his popularity. That was it. That was his chance. LA Knight, same thing. LA Knight was at the height of his popularity, and they cut him off at the knees right there. They'll give it to Uso, and then they took it away from Uso. That's again just some of the things that they've done. I've not been agree with on, but yeah, there you go. I'll just leave it at that. That's another story for another day. But Xbox says show us way better without SB. Xbox over SB. SB will tell you over Xbox. Yes, those guys fight all day long. It's death, taxes, and those two fighting. That's how I get through my day. That's what 3 things you can count on right there for you. But again, great to be here. Again, thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing. Don't forget that I have also the NBA team previews. The next one coming down the line that will be open up for you is the Miami Heat. That's going to be with Zachary Weinberger. That's coming for everyone tomorrow. If you're a member, you can watch it right now. Milwaukee Bucks is next on the list with Alex Kirschbaum. Can't wait to show you that one. That was a great interview as well. Then we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Got a couple interviews there over a couple days. Then the New Orleans Pelicans, and then the Knicks coming up here in the next few days. So look forward to that. And again, if you're a member for just $2.99, you get them early, and you get all the cool emojis and all the stuff like that. So yes, you guys, truly great to be here. Truly great to have you in the chat. It was really one of our best chats that I've seen in a while, past couple days. So cannot thank you enough. You guys have been really awesome in the chat. Bloodhound says Triple H was his favorite. He likes to stick with. He does. Yeah, every booker has their favorites that they will always promote, whether it's in their best or worst interest. They'll always. It's a natural human tendency, Bloodhound, to have their favorites. But the thing is, the best bookers, the best guys, creative guys, will understand their favorites and when to get off their favorites and go with what's best for business. And I'll just leave it at that. Kurt Fair said, bring back the 1-2-3 Kid. I think he does still independent shows under his real name, Sean Waltman. But yeah, I think that ship has sailed for the most part. But he can still do the Bronco Buster from what I remember. Bloodhound says, who is doing the Buffalo Braves preview, Gerald? Ha ha. Ha ha. That's a good one. That's right up the alley of Kurt Affair right there. Cincinnati Royals up next. Vince Russo at his peak was a great booker. Oh, I don't know about that, Bloodhound. I mean, again, he should get some credit for his Crash TV. I never really liked the storylines of a lot of what he was putting out there, but again, he deserves some credit for being there at one of the peak times of the Attitude Era. But Yeah, that was a very short peak, Bloodhound, because we saw what happened when he went to WCW and was given the control of that, and that went to. Uh, he is one of the key reasons why WCW went out of business, and I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, it was a very short peak, Bloodhound, but I have to give him credit because he was there for a little bit of that. Although Jim Cornette would probably whack me upside the head with a tennis racket for saying that and saying anything nice about Vince Russo. And I'll leave it at that. Bestling said Jokic was singing his lollipop and cheering for Giannis when Giannis was dunking the ball in All-Star games as a starter. Oh, it was okay. Again, that must be a conversation you guys are having on the side. But again, Giannis said some interesting things. If you guys want to check out the Hoop Collective on what he said, that was just an interesting part of that conversation from ESPN. So they discussed what he said. The fact that he had the owner said he had a conversation during the summer with Giannis that Giannis has no recollection of. So we'll just leave it at that. Just interesting. And then he said he wants to win at the highest level, et cetera, paraphrasing there, but you get the message of what he's trying to say. He wants to be on a team that's going to win, and does not look like Milwaukee's anywhere near close to winning this year. JSJ said Cody versus Randy versus Punk main event. I wouldn't do it. I don't know about Randy Orton. Is he still at that level? I mean, we're going to find out. If he's still at that level. But I would. You could. That would be good for a PLE leading up to WrestleMania, but I wouldn't make that a WrestleMania main event. I really think you should make it Punk Rollins. I really think that's the best for business. This is. The Punk Rollins thing is one of the best and few things that is gone that people get excited about, that people get motivated about, that people actually like and care about. While the Vision thing is still working for now, before it gets, because they're now all on Monday and Fridays now. We'll see how the Vision thing continues to work out, or people get tired of it. The angle with Asuka and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, that is really well done. I'm a huge Asuka mark. I really think that putting her in this limelight, she's fantastic for it. Despite the missed kick that she had the other night. That's what happened when you have people in street clothes trying to do stuff that they should be doing in their regular wrestling gear. But needless to say, she has been fantastic on the mic, and even not even being able to speak English well, she's able to translate things with her charisma that is truly been keeping this alive. But Bloodhound had some concerns about Triple H ruining the WWE, and he's right. There are a lot of aspects that storylines that have fallen dead, and the John Cena, since he won the title and did the heel turn thing, that was it's been disappointing to see what's gone on there as far as the way they have treated John Cena on the way out. Is not really the way I would have liked. I would have done it, and I'll just leave it at that. But yeah. Jay said best after LeBron leaves, talking to Best League about LeBron leaving and whatnot. Maybe the team finally getting there. But what gets me though, Jay, is this. When you give people T-shirts today, like Rob did, and this goes out to Stefan if he's still watching and listening, and continued success with your podcast, by the way. I'm truly rooting for you. And if you ever want one of us on from the Lakers Fast Break, whether it's me, Joe, John Costa, Magic Man, Sean Grice, Xbox, any one of the guys, or if you want Legend 350, I can reach out to him as well. If you want any one of us, hit us up, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, and we'll be glad to pop on your podcast, talk Lakers anytime. But yeah, I'll just say this. When you go out as Rob Pleinka and give out those T-shirts with the obsession on it, as you see in the JPEG, in the thumbnail for today's video, it's just like, okay, you got to back it up. Back it up. So this season, if the Lakers looked like they could win 18, Rob, put that T-shirt on yourself. Do what we need to do. Make the moves that need to be made, and show that you have that obsession as well. Bloodhound, I agree. I think those T-shirts, I like it. Believe me, I like it. I would like an 18. I was thinking about approaching Drip Show sometime and saying how much she would charge for a Lord of the Rings, and then having, the whole bunch of rings. Because I have one. I don't know if you see me. Sometimes I have one with an NBA shirt, Lakers shirt with rings on it from the list of their many titles. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to think if I ever get a Lord of the Rings T-shirt with the Lakers motif, or Lakers saying combining two of my loves, Lord of the Rings and the Lakers. I was thinking about hitting him up as far as what he charges for that. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and hit up Drip Show Shop on Twitter and Instagram for something like that, because I may just do that. But yeah, the T-shirt was corny. I think that was corny. I think you do that if you really think you have a team that can win a championship today. And I don't know if in El Segundo, if they go up and you ask them man to man in El Segundo in the front office, if we go upstairs, you talk to the office, close the door. If you can ask them, are you ready? Do you think you can win a championship today? Eye to eye. Do you think you have a championship roster today that can support Luka Doncic, that can support LeBron James? So that's what I want to see. Kurt Affair says Xbox has been obsessed with 18 for a while. Oh, Kurt Affair. Oh, you got Xbox good on that one. Oh, there you go. There. The Clipper ones are worse, JS. Clippers, it shouldn't be obsession. It should be, with their T-shirt, their T-shirts should say Pablo Torre found out about the Clippers. That's what it should say. That's the T-shirt for their year. Pablo Torre found out about the Clippers. Or we aspire, or we have aspiration to do more in Clipperland. There you go. Aspiration, indeed. Get it? Aspiration. All right. That was, I'll leave you that. But it is, of course, Gerald Glasser. Thanks again for watching. What was the nasty? There was the WNBA comment earlier, SB, about the player, I think was for the Minnesota Lynx. She went off on the WNBA commissioner. So yeah, I'm back now. Something happened there, but yeah, the WNBA commissioner was put on fire. As far as the what was comments what were made. She was gaslit quite a bit by the league, because a lot of the players supported what the Minnesota Lynx player said about how bad of a commissioner the WNBA commissioner was. So yeah, that I don't know about the one about the NFL. I honestly don't know about that one, but yeah, Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show, and that's creating a lot of interest one way or the other. Creating one way interest one way. Again, that's a political issue, and I don't want to get into it. But yeah, Bad Bunny. I think he was the best part of Happy Gilmore 2. I really didn't like Happy Gilmore 2, but I thought Bad Bunny was the best part about it. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, great conversation. Cannot thank you enough for stopping by. I'll see if I can get John tomorrow night. I'll see if I can get Magic Man here in the not too distant future. Xbox, stop walking Surfer's Paradise and get back on the show, man. That's what we need you here for as well. We need your sparkling wit and humor to come back on the show. Your great sense of Aussie timing to get back on the show. Got to put you back on stage to get you back on here. Joe, again, when he's not busy, I know will come by the show, but he's too busy doing Joe things and doing hit and run insults in the comments. And that's pretty much what he does. Who is Bad Bunny? Bad Bunny is a Latino rapper and one of the most successful rappers on the planet. He is currently on a world tour. He was just selected by the NFL to be the halftime entertainment after it was heavily rumored that Taylor Swift turned the NFL down. You can make of that of what you will, but Bad Bunny will be the halftime entertainment for the NFL Super Bowl, which, again, as a marketing tool to someone who is extremely popular to Hispanic contingent, South America, the rap community. And again, I think he is, if you watched him, he is actually pretty good. And JSJ, I think you could vouch for this. A Bloodhound, I think you could vouch for this. He's actually pretty good in his limited times that he's been in the ring in WWE as well. And the fact that I think he did the best job of anybody in a horrible Happy Gilmore 2 movie tells you what you need to know. I thought he was the best of anyone that performed out there. Yes, he's from Puerto Rico. That's correct. He's Puerto Rican, but just to the community out there, Spanish speaking community out there, he is literally one of the top performers on the planet to them. And I think it's a good get as far as from reaching that community standpoint. Now, whether you talk about whatever controversy stuff like that, that's up to you. But as which has been a fancy word to say lately in society, business decision. Again, if you're trying to reach that community, then that is probably one of the top individuals you'd want to get for reaching a new community like that, or reaching a growing community like that to the NFL, if that makes sense. Again, and I'll just leave it at that. Again, if you want to hate it, you hate it. If you want to like it, you like it. That's up to you. Sports Baby says they should have got Xbox to perform in the halftime show. What would you do? Walk around the field, staring at all the lovely young cheerleaders out there? Sports Baby? I don't know if that'd be really entertaining, but Xbox would sure enjoy it. That's for sure. JSJ said Bad Bunny versus Jelly Roll should be the main event. You never know. If it's WrestleMania 43, the Saudis, what the Saudis want, the Saudis get. They wanted Electronic Arts. They got Electronic Arts. And I'll just leave it at that. Walk around with his watch counting steps. Yep, there you go. You know what? Credit and big shout out to Xbox, man. He puts in 30,000 steps a day. I am lucky to get 10 to 15 on a given day. So I have mad props to my friend Xbox. He does great. That's the weakest comments I heard today. Gross to say he's from the entire community. Again, to you, Joe. Shut up, Joe. Indeed. All right, it is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for joining us. I will try to be back tomorrow. I'll see if I can get a sidekick. We could talk about the early results from training camp. I know that Joe will be focused on LeBron's glute. So maybe we'll focus for Joe on LeBron's glute, because I know Joe likes talking about LeBron's glute. And we'll go ahead and talk hopefully a little bit more about what's going on with the Lakers and the NBA right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So for everyone out there, keep checking out my team previews. Keep checking out what you're doing. Like and subscribe. All that good stuff, because it does help the channel from all of us right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Thanks so much for watching, and be safe.